Welcome back, barbecue fans. Another week of your favorite podcast show, Wise Guys BBQ. Vin Picaro here with my best left side, Charles Baldwin. And you know him, you love him, Tommy the Butcher. He's double duty. So actually, he's triple dutying tonight because one, he's back and he is the Butcher. Two, he had a fantastic vacation that Charlie and Tommy are going to jump into right in a minute for you because it was fantastic. And I'm nice and happy this week because he finished off 2 smoked pork butts that we had some for dinner, which was fantastic. So Tommy, welcome back. Let's do a little salute here, a little cha-ching, cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Cheers. Oh, wow, what is it?
So what do you think of that?
That's fantastic.
All right.
No, I don't want to I don't want to spoil it now. So that was a bottle Tommy brought, but I think we should get into it in a little bit. Let's wait on that. But it's delicious.
We'll lead up to that because there's a nice story behind that.
Yeah, so. Yeah. So I don't know. Tell our fans, where did you go? What you do? I mean, I'm gonna folks, I'm gonna have a bunch of pitches, not pigeons. Pigeons are bad. We're not a Verizon commercial. I have some pitches flying in and out of all Tommy's escapades as he goes through them. So check them out.
Escapades. That's a good word.
There you go.
How did you walk into this vacation?
You know, before I get started, I have to give a shout out. My brother Tony, God bless him. I love you, Tony. I know you're watching. This was all his idea. He put this whole itinerary together. He presented it to me, and I said, you know what? I'm all in. I'm just going to tag along. It was basically one of those sidecar motorcycles where you got. He was the driver and I was sitting on the side seat the entire time.
Nice.
But we spent 18 days. We did 5 countries in 18 days.
Oh, shit.
As a matter of fact, we actually did 5 countries in 5 days. So as much as we were enjoying ourselves, seeing the country, we were actually on the road quite a bit as well. So we basically moved on into town, and about 2 days later, we packed up and moved on to the next one.
Where'd you start? Where did the whole thing begin?
We flew into Milan, Italy, and from that point, all these areas we went to are very close. Mm-hmm. You're only talking maybe a 3-hour ride on average. So we started in Milan. We immediately went off to Grindelwald, Switzerland.
Famous for the Clint Eastwood movie.
If you've ever seen the movie,
The Eiger
Sanction with Clint Eastwood.
Really?
That's the mountain we were at. And it's also referred to as Jungfrau, which is also called the top of Europe. At 13,000 feet, there's quite a restaurant institution up at the top of this mountain with a lot of activities. But to get to that, you need to take a gondola halfway up, and then you get off and you enter a train. And that train
is right in the mountain. No,
it's right at the top of the mountain. Yeah. You're going to see a lot of pictures. Yeah. But you leave the gondola, and then you have to enter a train. And this train just goes through the tunnels that were carved in this mountain. This is going back 200-300 years ago. They started literally by hand tunneling through this mountain. And it eventually brings you to the top, and you get out, and there it is. And you just get out, and there's all types of active. We went sledding at 13,000 feet. Beautiful restaurant. Quite the ice sculptures. There's a lot to see, and a lot of the pictures will be posted. So it was just magnificent. That's all I got to say. And
all right, and you didn't. I'm sorry, you didn't go with a tour or something. It was just you two guys in a car.
It was just the 2 of us. He knew exactly what he wanted to see. He booked out. He booked all the lodgings ahead of time, but everything we did along the way, meals, it was all spur of the moment.
Right.
We'd get into town. We'd go see what we wanted to see. We'd return to our room. He'd get on his tablet, start working for the next day.
All right.
So every day led up to the next day. Basically.
So in Milan, was that a sightseeing day, or was that just a land and go?
That was a land and go for me.
Okay.
My brother was actually out there for a whole month.
Oh, geez.
All right. So
he was out there for retired,
He's retired. He was actually out there for a couple of weeks with his wife, and they visited the Lake Como, Lake Maggiore area of northern Italy. And then she returned, and I took her place. I flew out and took her place, and we ended up going off to all the Alps. So we did all the Alps of Switzerland, Germany, Austria,
Didn't we
got around.
go in that area when we went when we were like 18 years old?
We logistically
Como
went
or
through Milan.
Milan?
I've never been to Lake Como. I'm dying to
We
go.
were on one side of it or something. I can't remember.
Yeah,
There's a lot of alcohol
possibly.
involved in that trip.
No, there's in Milan.
Amongst other things.
Milan sits on the the west side.
Yes,
of the
northwest
lake.
of Italy, close to
lake.
Germany, close to Austria.
Right. So we were close by it, but we didn't see it. We didn't sightsee it. George Clooney was there.
We went by some big lake up that way on the tour. We didn't stop.
I'm sure you did.
That's where Big Dave got his thing stolen from those kids. And we
I don't
chased
know.
them.
Now I'm cutting this out.
Oh boy, that's a fun
All right.
story.
So now, all right. So Milan was a transit day for you, and you guys are getting on your way. Where you going next?
Well, we left Milan. We headed to Grindelwald, Switzerland.
Okay,
Spent
and
a couple days there.
Yep.
Up on the snow-capped mountains of
So-
Switzerland.
What was all right? So I'm going to say, what was your number one thing to do? And was the number one thing you ate there? Did you remember? Because I know you were sending us stuff every place you went.
We had such an itinerary. It was very difficult.
Yeah.
I would say the most spectacular was the very first stop in
Okay.
Grindelwald, Switzerland, what it had to present. But there were so many other highlights along the way that didn't quite eclipse that very first day. But, you know, you're talking about on a scale of 1 to 10, that first stop was, I would say, a 10. Everything else after that was a 9.5. So
Yeah.
to put it into perspective,
Yeah.
I mean, there really wasn't any stops that were a letdown or anything, a downgrade from the, it's just, I mean, it kept building, but I mean, you know, remember when you were kids, you used to play buck up with a bat? You know, you toss the bat, okay, you go like this and you get to the top and everybody's doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's basically what it was. You just
It just got better and better.
Yeah, it got so good that there was no way it was going to get better because it was
Fantastic.
it was just amazing. And, you know, we moved on from, and this is the funny part, we moved on from Switzerland, Grindelwald.
Yep.
And our next stop was Liechtenstein. Now, who wants to go to Liechtenstein? What's the draw to go to Liechtenstein other than you could say you've been? Now, just to put things into perspective, Liechtenstein is a very small country. Now, for example, the state of Rhode Island is 1,000 square feet.
Miles.
I'm sorry.
Miles.
That's awfully small. It's not that small. 1,000 square miles.
I'm going to buy it.
Liechtenstein is 60 square miles.
Oh, Jesus.
It's 1/17 the size of Rhode Island,
Oh, my goodness.
and it's literally the size of Coventry. So think about that. You know, you got a country you can literally drive into and leave
the same day.
all like within a half hour.
What's the population? 8?
Good question. I don't know exactly, but you know, we went there.
Let us know, folks. Put them in the comments.
Yeah, we went there to say we went, but yet without any expectations.
Yeah.
But that's good because when you set yourself up without any expectations, I mean, you can get blown away. And it's exactly what we did.
Right.
I mean, we saw some things. We ended up going to this ski area, and we got on a chairlift. And we took a chairlift up to it. It was about a 6,000 foot peak.
Oh, Jesus.
Of course, it wasn't 6,000 feet from the base.
Right.
We were already at 3,000 plus feet
Right.
in altitude. So it's not like you're taking a chairlift to the top of Mount Washington or anything like that. So we went up, nice and quaint. It was very quiet, hardly anybody around. We went into the little chalet type of thing where they had a restaurant, got some coffee with Bailey's, and we just going through the menu.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, they offer barbecue. They actually had a barbecue and with a smoker on the premises. So,
Wow.
But the only problem was it's only available on Fridays and in
yeah.
the summer. So, you know, but it was interesting to find that without any
Yeah, just-
expectations.
right.
You know, at the top of the ski
Just
area.
part of their normal menu kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's so that was pretty interesting.
Right.
And
where did you go that had that? You said you got like this dessert from one, and they just started bringing out all these accompaniments for the soup. It was some kind of a pudding. Yeah, was that?
Well, that was later on.
All right, let's say
Yeah.
Friends, you're gonna
That
love.
was-
You're gonna love that piece of video that I put up.
I got to get you the picture of that so you
Yeah.
can drop it because
Yeah, no, that was great.
that was mind blowing experience.
Let's save that.
So,
Save
anyways,
that for 'em.
yeah. So we're in Liechtenstein now, and we were there for 2 nights, and then from that point, our destination was Germany, Berchtesgaden, Germany, which was a haven for Hitler back in the wartime, World War II. So we actually went to visit the Eagle's Nest. And if you don't know what the Eagle's Nest was, it was this retreat that the Nazis built in the 40s, during the war. And it was Hitler's actual summer retreat. And he had all dignitaries and high-ranking people from all over. Mussolini was there several times as well. So that was something he wanted to do, and that was quite interesting in order to get to that place. And where they put it, it was this building. It's now a restaurant, and it's a tourist attraction. And this thing is literally what it implies, an eagle's nest. It's perched on top of a 3,000+ foot peak, and it's about as narrow as the building. So you're literally standing on the building, looking up, and you're looking down, you're seeing 3,000 foot drops.
Yeah.
So it's literally just balancing on top of this.
Jesus
it was
Christ.
absolutely amazing. And
meanwhile, it's like 85 years old. Like, what are you even up with?
Yeah, 80. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
85 years old. And
Yeah.
there was a lot of, they have this big fireplace, and the mantle actually has etchings from soldiers and all people that were there during those times. You can see the year inscribed, 1945.
Wow.
It was.
What was the restaurant? Hitler's place?
Yeah, well, we had a.
Eat at Hitler's?
Where did we do? Oh, they had a couple places. Actually, there was a place. It was, I can't even think of the name of it now, that the Nazis used quite often during the, oh, cripe. I forget the name of it.
Adolf's Attic.
The possibilities are endless, but
we went there. We had dinner there once, and we went back for a pretzel with beer. And forgive me, Tony, I'm forgetting the name of it right now, but it'll come to me. But that was an establishment that was there. It was a bar that was there during the war, and the Nazis visited that quite often. In fact, they held meetings there during the war. But yeah, Germany was quite the place, Berchtesgaden.
And there's a lot of Braten in Germany.
A lot of Braten.
A lot of roast meat, which is right up our alley.
And a lot of schnapps. We drank a lot of schnapps.
Braten is roast meat?
Braten is roast meat.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, okay.
So if you you hear the terms like sour braten.
They do a lot with game meats as well.
Yep.
I did a couple of venison meals, a wild boar meal while you're in those Bavarian countries. They do a lot with that. But the schnapps, every night was schnapps. And the schnapps there isn't what you're thinking about here. It's not that thick, sweet, syrupy, liqueur type thing. It's much cleaner without all that sweetness and syrup.
Not Dr. McGillicuddy's.
Not Dr. McGillicuddy's. And of course, there's all different types of schnapps. They have apple, pear, apricot, cherry. I mean, you name it. There's a lot of different varieties.
Wow.
So, now we're at Germany.
And now, do you want to talk about this as he's talking about booze?
Well, where did this take place? Where did you find this?
All right. This grappa that we're drinking now, this was...
All right, what's grappa?
Grappa is what they do. They take all the solids from winemaking. They call it pumice. And they use all the seeds and the not the stems. They used to just use the stems, no longer, because that does impart a very tough flavor, very harsh flavor.
So it's the skins and the
seeds. They use the
seeds.
skins and the seeds, and then they take all that solid material and they distill it. And they have what they call grappa. What we're drinking tonight is a very special grappa indeed. We actually visited the Nardini distillery in Bassano del Grappa, which is a town in the northern Italy.
Oh, nice.
And the Nardini distillery is actually the oldest distillery in all of Italy.
Wow.
Opened in 1779.
That's nuts.
23 years old.
This is their Grand Reserve. It's their top of the line.
Nice.
The 22-year grappa. And, grappa has a reputation for being very fiery, very harsh.
Yeah.
And, there are some nasty ones out
Nasty
there,
ones.
When you have something like this.
No, this is
It's
pleasant.
Very,
there used to
very
be a
pleasant.
restaurant in Providence called Grappa's.
Yeah.
And you'd go there and they would have their collection of grappa and, what specials or whatever. And of course, I don't know, I was younger, wasn't a kid, but I was younger, probably in my 30s. And I said, hey, I got to go try it. I got to go get some grappa.
Yeah.
Grappas, you got to go get some grappa. So I go in there and I get me some grappa. oh my God, I thought I was going to die. It was the worst thing. It was like
white lightning.
Think of a moonshine and nothing nice about it. There was not, I can't say, this is warming or this is different. This has got a couple complex flavors. A little smooth, but it's still got a good bite to it. But I mean, you can drink this and enjoy it like a bourbon kind of thing compared to not the grappa I had.
And it's been 22 years in a barrel, so it picks up that color, the amber color. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of nasty grappas out there that, So
is it? I mean, this is obviously my ignorance here, but I mean, is it white grapes, red grapes?
It could be a mixture of all different types.
Because when it's distilled, it loses all that.
Exactly. And once it's distilled and all that, you end up with a clear liquid. And the only reason why it takes on this color is because it goes into barrels, into cask, and during the aging process, it'll begin to get amber looking color.
Can we make some grappa?
We should try it.
We got to get a winemaker.
I do know something. It takes quite a bit of material just to distill one bottle that size.
Well, we have a friend of the show. I won't use his whole name. His name's Mark. He's from Taunton. He loves one of your best buddies, Sylvester's place up there, Kinfolks barbecue, and he's Armenian, so he does that barbacoa on the stick, one on the sword that spins, and he's always busting my ass about my vagina mouth and how I don't have a taste for spicy, hot foods or really good liquors. He's always, but I know I'm not sure he makes wine, but I know he has relatives or friends that make wines. I wonder if they're making some grappa. And I don't know, Mark, it might be your ticket to the show, get you one of these chairs.
There we go.
And taste some of your grappa. So think about it, buddy.
So we spent a day or two in Innsbruck, Austria.
Yeah.
Went to the top of the mountain. And, if you can remember that, I doubt any of you could, but Innsbruck was the home for the 76 Olympics.
I was going to say 72, but
76. And everybody remembers Franz Klammer as one of the top skiers of his day, winning many gold medals. But we were there, and Innsbruck was quite a big, I wouldn't say a big city, but it was a pretty big town. I was very surprised to see how commercialized it was and how built up it was. But that was a great stop. Another great stop was Vienna. Yeah. We spent a couple of days in Vienna. And of course, it's October. So what does that mean?
Yeah,
Oktoberfest.
Right.
Man, we didn't go
they
there.
ran on a beer. I mean, that's just amazing how that happened to you.
They come out with these steins and they have like 8 in each arm, and they just come to your table.
They have these girls, and they're these petite girls.
Oh, yeah.
And somehow they can wrap their hand around 8 of those handles, and they got another 8. And then God forbid if you get the girl that like puts an 8 on an 8 and she's carrying it, and they go walking around delivering these beers. I'm like, this is not, get her help.
It's a circus act.
Now one of these steins is actually
help her.
It's actually about 3 12-ounce beers. So you have one huge mug of beer, which is actually 3.
Right, it's a liter, right? It's a liter.
It's a liter.
Yeah,
it's
a liter. 33 ounces.
So you're carrying 3 or 4 in each arm. There's a lot of weight there. Yeah, not only the weight of the glass, the mugs, the steins, but you have all that liquid weight in
every 2 and a little bit of liters is a gallon.
Yep.
So if she's got 8 and there's 1 in it, that's 4 gallons and 8 pounds of to a liquid gallon. So she's carrying 8 times 4.
And it's the metric system.
And let's not go there. I was trying to convert it. But if you do the math, it's like, I think 32 pounds in her arm. So she's got 2 armful, 32 pounds. Yikes.
Yeah, that's quite a sight to see. And you see them coming back and forth, serving people, countless times.
I'm sure
doing
it's a good job. I'm sure it's a good job.
Do you pay at the door and then just start drinking? You can't possibly be paying.
No, you keep drinking and then you'll eventually pay. One thing that I really like about Europe, you don't tip.
Oh, yeah.
You don't tip.
Well, it's included.
It's basically included. All servers, they get, they have a great wage. So, I mean, tipping, forget it. You don't have to tip. Right. That's something I learned.
Tipping is a town in China.
But we spent some time in Cortina, Italy, which is actually going to be a co-host for the upcoming 2026 Winter Olympics in February. Milan and Cortina are going to co-host the Olympics coming up. So there was a lot of work going on while we were there. We actually got to see the bobsled run.
Yeah.
Although it was all covered up. but we actually saw one of the old bobsled runs they had there. It was just like a concrete structure with all weeds growing out of it, obviously, but that was quite interesting.
That's great. That's great.
yeah,
So you had a blast.
Oh, had a blast. And
now, as long as you get rid of the jet lag.
Yeah, what is it 5 days later? What is it, circadian rhythm? What is it? What do they call that? It's a mess, whatever it is.
I learned a long time ago from my traveling days, usually whatever your time adjustment is, you need a day for every hour. So you were 6 hours ahead.
We were 6 hour different.
You'll be screwed up for 6 days.
And it's funny, you said that, and I had to Google it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's me. I have to go look. I have to see for myself.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they actually have a jet lag calculator.
you
plug in your age, the time zone difference, whether you're going from east to west, and it actually will give you how many days of jet lag you're going to experience. Not only that, it breaks each day down with what your symptoms or what symptoms you can expect. Day 1, day 2.
There's only one cure for those
there's only
symptoms.
one cure.
There it is right here.
And that's why I brought the bottle of grappa back with me, just to wash away all that jet lag.
Well, that was fantastic. And then, so I'll let the cat out of the bag. You did accomplish a cook this week. Your first week back. You pulled one off, and I think in true form to your jet lag, you made it a multi-day event.
Yeah.
So,
I committed to that.
What you did. Yeah.
Was that intentional or just worked out that way?
Absolutely not. The concept seemed quite simple, but of course, once we got
the
into
logistics behind it,
I'm like, what the hell did I get myself into?
Yeah.
This is not a 4 hour, 3, 4, 5 hour one and done in one day.
Nope.
It was all segments. We had to start it this time, return the next day, come back later that afternoon, come back the following day.
So
put it all together.
So you spiced it and cured it 24 hours overnight.
Right. We did the rub overnight. We did a dry brine actually on a pork butt. First time I ever did that. I don't know if anybody's ever done a pork butt dry brine.
So the idea was a comparison cook between a few different things. So Tommy took 2 butts, bone in. He butchered a bone out in one of them, and then he brined them. And then that was the overnight brine that occurred. The next day, day 2, we started at 7 in the morning. We threw both of these butts on a smoker, and we let it ride probably about 5 hours, I think, 4 or 5 hours.
Right, about 5 hours.
Yep. And then it was noontime, and we took them out, and we wrapped them. I say we. It was all him. I held the camera, and we did 2 wraps. We did an aluminum wrap, and we did a paper wrap.
Right. The whole idea was to do a comparison: bone-in versus boneless, and then foil wrap versus paper wrap, and to see what the results were going to be, and just compare to see, what the difference is, the 2 different wraps, whether you're using a bone-in and a boneless, just to see what the results would be.
Yep. So back in the oven it goes for another 2-3 hours, about a 7-hour cook, 7.5 hour cook, and then we pulled it. And the idea was we wanted to let it rest out just about the same amount of time. So we let it rest overnight in a Cambro and just kind of hold its temperature. I think we kept it about a 150. We held it. And then we had it, the day 3 was the unveiling, and we had an awesome pork dinner.
Yeah,
it was good.
It was I had a lot of apprehension about that. I was getting nervous about actually doing a 24-hour rest. Hold.
Yeah.
Because you got to maintain a temperature of at least 140.
Right.
150 is like the sweet zone. So you throw it into a Cambro and you let that sit, but that's not going to hold temperature forever. No. It's going to reach a point where, all right, now you're getting into that danger zone. So long as you can get it to about 150, and that's what happened. And then we got into a warming oven at 150. Returned 24 hours later, and I was a little, I hope this is going to work.
Yep.
Pull those things out. I temped them. They were 147, 148,
perfect.
Thank God it was perfect. Exactly where you wanted to be.
Yep.
24 hours later.
Yeah, no, and they were still very moist.
Very moist.
So we had you pulled them all, I think. I think pulled it all, and we had them on buns with a little. We won't tell you now. We'll let you watch the show. Yeah, we'll be dropping next.
My secret condiment.
Week. Yeah, secret condiment. And if you guess this one, screw Tony and his mushrooms. Yeah. You win a new car.
Hey, you don't have to go to Europe for this condiment. To me, as far as I'm concerned, it's the perfect condiment for a pulled pork sandwich. stay tuned and watch, and you're going to see what it is.
No, it was great. It was a great cook, and thanks for doing that, and welcome back officially. And we're going to lose you again for another week soon, but it's okay because while you were gone, we got a couple other dudes in the kitchen.
Here we go. Somebody else steps up.
That's it. Next man up. Last week, my buddy Chip didn't want to feed me, bastard. So we went up there and we made some Philly cheesesteak, which
that was.
A wise guy's take on a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah,
we got some disgruntled people out there. Oh, you didn't use the cheese whiz.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. But it's our take on that. So.
And, by the way, folks, it's an open kitchen, so don't just comment. Come over.
Come on down here and throw down.
Yeah, but it was a blast. So it was great because I was starving. I don't know what he did. I think he lied. Honestly, what I think he did, I think he picked up dinner and ate both of them in the car on the ride over. If I had a guess, I wouldn't put it by him, but he wasn't hungry. I was starving, and we just had a break, and we went upstairs, and we just cooked. But like Chip said, there were so many people, some folks with the controversy of what the hell we cooked, because I put a real 4-ounce cross-section of ribeye down, and people were like, you don't do that.
That's a serious steak sandwich.
It came out so good. I mean, I told him, I said, it's legitimately top 10 sandwich.
When did that drop? That dropped Friday night? I'm trying to think where I was when I watched that.
Yeah.
All right, Friday night. Okay, we were back in Milan. We were in our room because we were flying out the next morning, and that's when I first watched it.
Yep.
And I loved every minute of it. What I liked the best was the little banter you guys had between
it was fun.
Parmesan and the provolone.
Oh yeah.
You like.
I kept
you
pulling
what's
the melting point of
you knew what I meant. You knew I knew he was saying the wrong thing.
And then
I want to embarrass him.
That was hilarious.
He doesn't
You're
want to
wondering what the
embarrass me.
melting point
You just call me out.
Parmesan is. I'm like, you're right. I don't know if Parmesan even melts. It just sits there and
it doesn't. I don't think it does.
Maintains its integrity.
It was intended to be provolone. It was provolone. I followed. It was
21, 22, whatever it is.
Anthony Luke has a Philadelphia cheesesteak chain in Philadelphia, and he's now an actor and celebrity chef, and he has I thought it was a really good method, and he used a ribeye steak. He didn't have any shredded steak. It was a 4 ounce. It was a 4 ounce piece solid. Okay, granted, he had a bigger grill than mine, a griddle than mine, maybe a little hotter, but ours definitely broke up for us and was. It had the cheese coming through, and it was easy to bite. It wasn't you weren't struggling. But I'm sure if you're used to shaved steak and cheese whiz, mine looked like it came from Mars. But
but I think the move you made when you started just like putting little holes in it,
cutting them up
and pulling it apart a little bit. I think
that was a little
really
banter between me and my wife because she likes to cut everything, overcut everything.
The mirepoix was magnificent. Who did that?
Yeah, that was
all the colors were like
that was my wife. She got them all cut up for me and ready to go.
It was like a picture.
Yeah.
And the other thing, when you guys flip that over, cheese side down on the grill, that just sent it over the top. Just take that damn thing and flip it. Boom.
So we have some chef friends and competitive cooking friends, and already knocking on the door.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, next time, I don't know if you saw Andy's message on the thing. He's like, okay, this is ridiculous. I don't know why I wasn't there. Next time one of these happen, I'm invited. So he already invited himself, which we love. And I think, because Chip and I said it was fun. It's not supposed to be, informative. It's not supposed to be there to teach anybody how to cook. We don't know how to cook. It's supposed to be just fun. It's just supposed to be jumping around the kitchen.
But people love that. People in their own kitchens trying to figure
it was very easy. Very, very straightforward. You can do it. Anybody could do it.
Yeah.
I thought it was, say it's not informative. It was informative in its own way.
No, I think that's it. If I get a serious chef that wants to try it, I think what I'm going to do is have some different foods in the fridge, but not let them know, and just say, okay, you're good. Good. Raid my box. Make me have at it.
The mystery basket.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good idea. What was that?
Oh, yeah. You go to the mystery pantry.
Was that Chopped or something like that?
Yeah, you had those.
Okay, open up your baskets. You got like squid,
that's a good idea.
Candy canes, and I do something with that.
The only caveat to that is it's got to be something we want to eat.
Right.
That's true.
We already can eat.
Yeah, can eat.
But it was a lot of fun, and we will absolutely do that again. Maybe if we're good, we'll pull it off once a month. We got so much coming up. It's
the Wise Guys mystery basket. I love it. These guys are professional. We got to put them
kitchen. That's it.
There we go.
For sure. we're going to have a lot of new things happening. You've already been seeing it. Some of our documentaries dropped, which is great. Very shortly, week 11/3, we're going to have our first Destination Q, which we're so excited about. So we got a lot coming up. A lot coming up. I think you guys are going to love, and this is just going to add to it. I hope we can keep it up. I mean, it's true. We went through this last year, kind of, but we didn't know. Like last year, we just started, right? We were like, I don't know, 20 shows in, maybe. I don't even think we were 20 shows in, and then we just started cooking. We started cooking late August, September.
Yeah.
And with what we were doing, we had no clue what would work or not. And it just seems that, that at Thanksgiving to New Year's, you kind of lose a solid audience. Why? Because there's just so much going on, so much travel, so much visiting. People don't have the exact time to sit down and follow their weekly routines of a podcast. So, maybe we spread out some of what we got coming up, but we definitely have our holiday roast segments happening all before Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we know we got a lot of folks out there that love to watch Tommy pull off his prime rib roast and his, his beef welly.
Beef welly.
Kills it. Yeah. So I can't wait for that. Actually, we got to get Luke or Sonny around for that because those guys love a good beef welly.
Yeah, those holiday cooks really resonate well because you get a lot of people. What's the biggest symptom of holidays is it's stress.
Right,
everybody's stressing out. You have guests coming over.
Yep.
You're trying to plan this meal, and the last thing you want is a disaster or catastrophe. So a lot of people, these cooks actually resonate very well.
Yeah,
people are looking for ideas.
So the standing rib roast was an easy, obvious, right? Because that's the number one go-to Christmas dinner, right? So, and then a lot of people have never did one before, or they're intimidated by making that much meat in their oven. They don't know who they go see. They go see the butcher, and it's Tommy pulled it out from me. He's like, what's the number one question I have? Is how do I cook my roast, right? So we did a video on it, but beef welly was very interesting because Tommy never did one before.
Never did one in my life.
In his life. And it was more or less like, wasn't one of those, hey, I want to make a beef welly dinner for my family. Nobody knew. But it's something that's different, and it sounds, you start doing baking and roasting.
It sounds intimidating.
It sounds so intimidating. But Tommy took it from a pure novice side of, I did this before, we're going to do it, we're going to see what happens. He freaking
came out
killed
perfect.
It. Oh, he crushed it.
So it just goes to show if you apply yourself, you can do it for the first time as well. So
fucking A, Bubba.
And if you don't know, ask your butcher. So absolutely.
Not all butchers can cook, though. I'll give you that. It's like asking the car salesman how to, change his brakes or something like that. The car salesman isn't exactly the mechanic. But butchers aren't always exactly a cook as well. But
that is a good point, that you're not going to get a good cook understanding from a butcher if they ask a normal butcher. But you would have to say, all of what you learned, including techniques, mostly been all self-taught, right?
Absolutely.
YouTube, books.
Exactly.
Because you took no culinary classes.
I don't have no culinary degree.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. You can figure it out, especially
self-taught.
Especially these days, because everything's on YouTube. I mean, you go back 15 years ago, YouTube, no say. And then you go back 5 years ago, content, who makes content? Yeah. But now there's content coming out of the yin-yang. So
so much out there.
Yeah, easy to find. Well, that was fantastic. So I had a great time. I'm glad you had a great time. You'd go back?
Absolutely, I would go back. I don't think it's going to happen though, but I would go back. I mean,
yeah. Well, I know you have another trip.
I don't think I could do that 5 years from now and have the stamina or the endurance to do it.
No, it's a tough get. I get it. We went. Me and my wife, we went out there, we did something, and I was at an age of my life and a health status of my life where I just turned her and looked at her and said, if I don't go to Italy every year, once a year, there's something wrong with me.
Right.
There's no excuse. And I mean, we have a kid in college. All right, so there's one excuse, maybe two. But other than that, there's no reason why we shouldn't go. So we did go a few more times, right? So I've been probably in 5 years, 3 times, so that's good. But I would love to go every year. And like I said, our lovely Meg did a year abroad in Italy and loves Italy.
Yeah.
And wants to go there as much as she can. Have you gone to Italy this year, Meg? No, you didn't make it in 25? No. Bummer.
Can I send you there?
Yes. No, you're going to Puerto Rico instead. But yeah, no, I mean, it's doable. It's not, if you do it the right way, it's not super expensive. It doesn't have to be, right? And it's the direct flights. It's doable.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. And the food, oh my God, the motherland of food.
Yeah.
So go to Italy immediately.
And all I got to say is, I was so glad to be home, sleeping in 8 different beds in the 2 weeks that we were there, actually 18 days. And not only that, my brother was there for a month. He actually drove close to 2,000 miles. So,
Wow.
yeah. So it was a great time. Glad to be back.
Yeah, no, glad to have you back
here with
Thanks for
the Wise Guys BBQ crew, doing our thing every week. And
And thanks for sharing all those pictures. And Tony, right? Your brother's Tony, right?
Tony.
Yeah, so I'll say
Tony.
Tony, when he lays you up next year and doesn't want to go to Italy with you, I'm your guy. Give me a call. I'm there. I'm there for you.
Careful, he gets in trouble sometimes.
I'll bring it up. And I know I've mentioned this before. He is designing his own smoker.
Oh, yeah.
So he's still in the design stage.
Right.
And he's having difficulty with the software coming up with the plan, but he's still at it. So
that's good.
He has
so maybe we
an
get that on the
idea,
show.
very interesting, it's very unusual and doesn't conform to
Traditional methods.
traditional smokers that are out there. And we'll see if he can
You're
pull this
looking at
off
the
or
next
not,
3
so.
millionaires of your friends. Guys, need any money, come see us.
Yeah.
We'll get
So-
them going.
Tommy, I got one last question, and then
Shoot.
it's something that's been bothering me since you left. How's the toilet paper over there? I heard it's a little.
my God.
I heard it's a little rough.
It's rough. I couldn't believe how thick it is. Not only that,
Like wiping your ass with a pine board. I heard.
and it's very, very thick. I mean, you only need
They don't have paper mills
you only
over there?
need
What's
like
going
1 or 2 sheets, and
Yeah.
the job is done. Now we're getting a little graphic here.
Yeah,
Not only
let's get
that
up.
is they don't have your typical levers. They have 2 buttons, a big one and a little one.
Yeah,
So
we can figure that out.
common sense. What is the little one?
Yeah,
What do you?
piss,
Yeah,
right?
and what's the big one for?
Yeah,
It's
right.
like right in the wall. 1, 2.
Yeah, it's funny.
one
they don't- yeah, we
one
don't-
takeaway from
Now
from
you know
Europe.
everything.
Now you got all the European plumbing and toilet papers down, folks. Thanks for being here another week. Go out and eat some barbecue. A lot of good stuff coming up. Next week, we're going to have 2 faves of the show, Kathy and Tom Trainer from Inclusive Barbecue, and they're having a competition first week in November. So we're going to have them on the show and tell us a lot more about it.
But before we go, just scroll right down on your screen and hit that subscribe button. It only takes a second.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
means a lot to
if you
us.
haven't subscribed, it costs nothing. Just go down there and hit it, and then like, share, hit that notification bell, so you will not miss an episode.
There you go.
Ding,
Like
ding.
I always say.
Right out of the butcher. Right out of the butcher's closet. Thanks, folks. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Adios.